Good morning, students. I welcome all my dear students to another interesting session. And today's session, we'll be learning about the very first chapter in our sixth standard science textbook, that is natural resources, air, water, and land. I'm Miss Sheikh Navida, and I'll be teaching you all this lesson. So, before we learn about natural resources, air, water, and land, the very first thing that I would is this image. Now, when you look at it, you will find that there are certain organisms which are on the surface of the earth, which are some are flying in the air and some are inside the water. So, this earth is divided in three spheres. First is the hydrosphere, which is comprising of water and the organisms which are living in it. Then we have lithosphere, that is land. L for land and L for lithosphere. So remember that. Lithosphere is the land which is present on our earth. The entire land which is there, okay, comprising of mountains, the land that you walk on, that all comes under lithosphere. Next you have atmosphere. The air that you breathe, the atmosphere that you can see above. You cannot actually see air, but you can feel it. So these three things are extremely important, where air, water and land are the earth, atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere respectively. Air is atmosphere, land is lithosphere and water is hydrosphere. Okay, so you have to remember these things. Now all these three things, they comprise together and they form biosphere. Now, air, water and land. All these three things are extremely important for a living organism to survive. See, the animals which are on the land, they need water, they need air, they need land for their survival and their existence. Same way the animals and the plants which are there in beneath the ocean, beneath the water, they also need air. They do not get the atmosphere directly, but it is required by them and they get it. They need the plants beneath the sea are also they also require land which is present there, and they also need atmosphere. So every living organism, whether plant or animal or humans, they need all these three components together, that is atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere. Okay, which is extremely important for the existence of life. Now these three things, that is the atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere, they provide us with numerous resources like water for drinking purpose, animals for various purpose like for eating, for animals like sheep, you get wool from them, you get milk, you get egg, you get protein from them, right? Same way we get soil which is extremely useful for cultivation of crops and plants. Then you have sun which is present, the light that you, the rays that you get from the sun, that is used as a source of solar energy. Wind, which extremely important for producing wind energy. You get oil, crude oil, coal. All these things are present in the on the surface of the earth in all these three spheres that we learned right now, that is the hydrosphere, lithosphere and atmosphere. Okay, so it is extremely important that air, water and land, these are a few factors which are important for the sustaining of life on the planet earth, and it helps to fulfill our basic needs. Like you need food for survival, you need water to for your survival, you need plant, you need animals. So all these things are present in our planet itself. Naturally it is present, and you have to be very careful while using these resources because they are naturally present, but some of them can get extinct as well. Now, as I told you that all these three together comprise of biosphere. So different living things occupy these three spheres of the earth. These living things are the part of the lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere which they occupy together is called as biosphere. Okay? Now, you have to learn about the proportion of land and water. How much amount of land is there and how much amount of water is there. If you see our planet Earth, if you look at this globe itself, you will come to know that there is numerous, as compared to land, you have more amount of water present. That is hydrosphere का जो level है, it is more as compared to lithosphere. So here you have a picture which is explaining you all about how much is land and how much is water. So you have 71% water present on your earth and land is about 29% which is covered. Okay, only 29% land is covered and whereas the remaining 71% is water. Now, what are the 5 layers of the atmosphere that we need to know? Atmosphere here is the air we are talking about. Air is having the air, we are calling it as atmosphere. It has 5 layers in it. That is troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. Now troposphere is a sphere where you find aeroplanes and helicopters flying. Then you have the ozone layer after that, which is extremely important and we'll be discussing about it in the later part. Stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. Now we will not go in detail because you've learned about this layer in your fifth standard also. So we'll continue. Now the very first natural resource that we're going to talk about is air. Today's period is dedicated to air. Now, the air in the atmosphere around the earth contains nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide and 6 inert gases. Nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, water vapor and dust particles. Now, up till now we just learned that nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide and inert gases are present. But what which gas is present in which amount and how is it useful to us, we'll be learning in today's period. Okay, so here this is a graphical representation of how much nitrogen is present in our air. There is 78% of nitrogen present. You have 21% of oxygen present. You have 0.4% of carbon dioxide gas and the other remaining approximately 1% is other gases, mostly inert gases. Okay. Now we'll be learning about some uses of gases in the air. Means whatever names that we learned right now, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, inert gases like argon, krypton, xenon. Okay, we'll be learning about their uses also. So let us see. First, we'll be learning about nitrogen. Nitrogen, it helps in uh, building the necessary proteins in our body. Okay, now here you can see a plant which is getting the nitrogen from the atmosphere through the roots. That is a process which the plants process and they absorb the nitrogen from the atmosphere and utilize it to produce proteins in them. And this protein then is taken up by the animals or by humans. Okay. It is also useful in the production of ammonia and ammonia is useful for plants. Okay, again I'm explaining here. Next, it is used in airtight packaging of foodstuffs. Now here you can see how airtight foodstuffs are making use of nitrogen gas. Okay, these are a few uses of nitrogen that I've mentioned here. Next is the uses of oxygen. Now, when the word oxygen comes in your mind, the very first thing that clicks in our mind is respiration. Oxygen is important to breathe, right? When you want to breathe, you are breathing since the moment you were born, and if you do not breathe, things will get very difficult, right? Everybody knows that. So necessary, it is necessary for respiration in living things. All living things require oxygen for respiration. Okay, even plants require oxygen for respiration. It is only when they do photosynthesis they require carbon dioxide gas. Do not get confused. Now, normally we breathe through our nose or mouth and we make use of oxygen gas for the process of respiration. Other than that, when people go deep water diving or if they are climbing on high mountains, the level of oxygen is very low when they go up. Okay, as we have learned last year that the amount of gases which are present in the atmosphere are thicker near the earth surface, and as we go above, it becomes rarer and rarer, means it becomes less. So oxygen level also decreases when you go above the sea level. As you increase, as you move on, it will, the oxygen level decreases. Okay, same way humans are not capable of breathing beneath water. So we need to take oxygen cylinders in order to breathe comfortably under the seawater as well. Okay. Other than that, oxygen is required for burning, for combustion. Okay. So these are a few uses of oxygen gas. There are many more. Next is carbon dioxide gas. Carbon dioxide gas, as we know that since last year you are learning that photosynthesis is done by plants and they require carbon dioxide gas to prepare their own food. So plant use it for preparing their own food. Here you can see a plant which is taking sunlight, which is taking water, and they have chlorophyll present in them, in their leaves, and with the help of all these things they prepare their food and release oxygen gas. Okay, so carbon dioxide is mainly required by plants for preparing their food. It is also used in fire extinguishers. You must have seen these red color cylinders in your schools or whenever you go to a hotel or some place, malls and all. You must have noticed that there are these red color cylinders which are called as fire extinguishers. There are different types of fire extinguishers. Now there are certain fire extinguishers which have carbon dioxide in them. Now carbon dioxide does not let fire to spread, it extinguishes fire. Okay, and that is the reason these cylinders are filled with carbon dioxide gases. Next we have helium. Helium is used for obtaining low temperature as also for generating lift in airships. Now here this is a very simple example I could give for helium gas because it is light. And next you have is argon. Argon is also an inert gas which is used in electrical bulbs. Okay. Neon, it is used in decorative lights or for street lighting. You must have used these decorative lights during various festivals, Christmas, Eid, Diwali, and during weddings also. You must have seen these decorative lights. They make use of these neon gas which is there in the air. Then you have krypton, which is used in fluorescent tubes. जैसे कि nowadays you have LED tubes coming up, but earlier previously we had, now also it is present. There are people we are using these tubes which make use of krypton gas. Now, in order to have a proper balance in our earth, the atmosphere also has a proper filtration going on, and it is very important that everything is in a proper balanced manner because the atmosphere itself has its filter in it, and it has to maintain a proper balance between various gases and other constituents of air. It allows the light and heat of the sun to reach the earth, whether sun or remember that when the sun rays fall onto the earth, not all the rays are useful to us. There are some rays which are very harmful to us, and this atmosphere is helping us to cause any harm to us, okay, with the help of the ozone layer. Next, atmosphere is responsible for formation of clouds, snow, rain production. Okay, so whenever you see cloud, that is because of the atmosphere. The rains that is there, it is because. So the smoke directly, if there is any smoke which mixes into the atmosphere, it disturbs the balance between the constituents of air. This is called as air pollution. Now, harmful gases are given out through combustion of fuels in vehicles, in big industries, and also through incomplete combustion of fuels like wood and coal. Means if the coal or wood does not burn completely, They give out harmful gases, which is extremely dangerous for us, okay, which leads to air pollution. And as we all know, that air pollution is increasing day by day because of fire, because of industries emitting harmful gases, and from the vehicles. All these gases are causing air pollution. So these are a few examples of the substances which are released, like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, soot. These are few examples of harmful gases which are emitted, and this much is quite clear to you all. In the next coming period, we'll be learning about ozone layer. As time is up, we'll continue with this very important and interesting topic in the next coming period. Thank you.